The topic of fake Minecraft speedruns has been more popular than ever in recent times, with tons of videos being posted to YouTube that covered specific cheating cases such as Drem, though the majority of the videos were just memes. This newfound interest caused people to look deeper into existing runs, searching for signs of cheating or foul play. If you don't already know, the main place for speedruns to be submitted, regardless of the game, is speedrun.com. This is where official site moderators and verifiers look over and approve submitted speedruns, and where leaderboards for these runs are created and displayed to the public, assuming they're legitimate. For this video, I asked a speedrun.com moderator to share with me some of the worst faked Minecraft runs that have been submitted to this site, and I also found a few of my own that I thought were interesting or funny. Today, I will be sharing these runs with you, as well as breaking them down and explaining them. But first, I would just like to thank you guys for what is almost 100,000 subscribers. It's crazy that the channel is about to hit this milestone, considering that I've only really had an audience for a few months now. So, big thanks to everyone that's a subscriber, and do make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so we can get to 100,000. Our first speedrun for today comes from Mr. Panda9187 Minecrafts, and is on the Pocket Edition version of the game, which discredits it in some people's minds, but I mostly chose it due to how it's a 33-second run. That's gotta be the world record. The video of this run is recorded using a free mobile screen recorder, and actually starts with our speedrunner friend accidentally turning their face cam on. We also find out that the runner's phone is on the dangerously low battery level of 18%, which hopefully won't affect the run. Some of the runner's maneuvers here are definitely less than desirable, and don't seem to save much time. After literally staircase mining for a few cobblestone, our friend Mr. Panda begins to walk in a very specific direction, before conveniently discovering a village. The runner actually gets a low battery warning here, so I'm really hoping that his phone can last for the rest of this run. After looting the village, our speedrunner pal wanders a bit, finds a ruined portal, and then sleeps in a bed, which is a bit of a peculiar tactic. The run continues for another 10 odd minutes, which mostly just consists of endless looting and inventory organization. But here's the catch that comes along with this speedrun, and actually the key element that plays the biggest role in discounting the run. Did the speedrunner fiddle with the game's code in order to get better RNG? Did they secretly use a world seed that they had practiced on? Well, no, it's actually much simpler. They literally just announced that they were going to find the stronghold off camera, cut the video, and when it returned, boom, they're magically at the stronghold. Okay, turns out it's here. There's really not much else to be said about this run. The runner digs down at the stronghold, searches it for the portal, and then somehow whips out a full set of 12 Eyes of Ender, just the amount needed to light the portal. Fun fact, there's another low battery warning here, but the runner seems confident enough in the run and continues in the quest for the end. Finally, the runner ends up fighting the dragon with beds, and while it's performed terribly, it might be the only logical thing throughout this whole run. Psych! The end crystals were still here all along, so any damage dealt to the dragon was instantly regenerated. And then, oh, look, another cut and the dragon has now been defeated, rendering this run complete. Not quite a world record, but you're getting there, I guess. All jokes aside, I got a few good laughs from this run, and I think it's great that this dude's pursuing a dream to become a pro. The next speedrun has a little less to it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. This one comes from Mr. TD Plays Games. Just like the last run we looked at, this one is done on Pocket Edition, though it seems like this guy is on a tablet instead of a phone, due to the dimensions of his screen. This one is very blatantly fake, to the point that it must be irony. This guy spawns into the world and walks directly to a desert village where he collects some wheat. Okay, well that's not too suspicious. Oh, and in the first chest he opens, there's everything you could possibly need to beat Minecraft. I should probably remind you that these are not realistic items to get from a village chest. In fact, this is probably the furthest thing from realistic. This runner and his llama skin continues to put his newfound diamond armor on, and then walks about 10 blocks before digging down into the stronghold. Okay, well none of that is very subtle, but at least the dragon fight is legitimate. The only problem with it is the fact that it takes 4.5 minutes to complete, a very long time in comparison to the mere minute it took him to collect all of the things necessary for finding the stronghold. And of course, this run was rejected. The next speedrun we'll be looking at comes from a runner named Drem. Drem and his random seed any % glitchless run of Minecraft Java 1.16 was exposed to be fake by Dream via the video's comment section, but was brought into the public's eyes when YouTuber Zyphon made a video where he broke down the run and explained why it was fake. If you've already seen Zyphon's video, rest assured that I'll be presenting the information in my own way, but if you haven't, I definitely recommend you go check it out after this video. To start off, I would just like to make it clear that the accusations made against Drem are of course claiming that he faked this run, but more specifically that he used a set seed, meaning that the world seed Drem used was not actually random like the speedrun category requires. It's pretty evident that our speedrunner friend had chosen this seed well before his run attempt, and had taken the time to practice on it and determine the location of vital landmarks such as shipwrecks, villages, ruined portals, nether fortresses, and of course the stronghold that pretty much marks the end of a run. So how do we know that Drem was using a predetermined seed? Well, our first major clue actually comes from the loading animation that pops up on screen when you're first generating a new world. When you generate a world, this white square appears briefly in a specific location on the border of the outer square, before zapping to the center and continuing to enlarge and change color. The location of the initial appearance of this white square stays the same every single time you generate a new world using the same seed. So, for example, if I were to have a specific seed to use, the loading animation would always be the exact same, even if I generate a world with that seed like 1,000 times. But this is all thrown out the window in Drem's case, because the white inner square doesn't first appear along the edge, and instead immediately appears in the center. When you create a new Minecraft world using the same seed that Drem used, the white square appears in the corner, not in the middle. So that's a lot to take in considering that it's just a loading screen, but this alone pretty much confirms that the run was edited and that Drem was using a predetermined seed. So now let's move on to points that are more based on assumptions and common sense, unlike the loading screen animation, which is mostly objective. The rest of the run is fairly normal and seems legit at first glance, but the runner seems to find multiple key locations very easily. I briefly mentioned this before, but Drem first spawns into the world, goes to a ruined portal in view, and then goes straight to a shipwreck, and straight to a village, and then walks straight towards a nether fortress without even looking around once entering the nether. The list of things Drem runs straight to without much examination goes on and on. The way he hunts down the stronghold seems very suspicious, as he triangulates the location in an unnatural way. If you don't already know, portal triangulation is a trick used by speedrunners, where you throw eyes of ender from multiple different locations, and visualize where those eyes would meet if they were to continue in a straight line. The idea is that the stronghold will be located at the spot where the eyes would meet. The trick is meant to be done with 3 ender eye throws, but Drem only uses 2, which is borderline incorrect. On top of that, when he goes to the location that he supposedly calculated, he mines straight down and into the end portal room, something that is very unlikely. He also ignores a mineshaft he digs into on his way, which most speedrunners wouldn't do, as following the mineshaft could easily lead you to the stronghold. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Drem's run. He continues into the end very easily considering his amount of leftover pearls, and the dragon fight is pretty standard. But here's what interests me with Drem's run. I believe that if he used a realistic loading screen, and if he wasn't so dang obvious in some cases, he probably could have gotten away with it. Okay, well, that's a lot of talking I just did, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. I spent a lot of time writing and editing this, so again, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Also, make sure to check out everything else in the description, like my Twitch and my Discord. I'll be doing a Q&A when I hit 100k, and my Discord is the place to submit questions for that. My Twitch has also been pretty interesting lately, as I've been streaming on my own public Minecraft server, as well as my quest to become a part-time Hypixel streamer. All the details for my Minecraft server will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.